Let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to the Pinstripe Palace podcast. We're here for episode number 4. Got a lot to talk about, a lot of things that we want to cover, even though the World Series isn't over. We want to come out with an episode. So obviously it's Ian.
I'm Chris.
And we got our boy Stefan on with us today to go over
What's going on, y'all?
Very excited to have you on, bro. If you want to give our subscribers a little bit of knowledge about being a Yankee fan, and who's your favorite player currently, favorite player all time.
I gotta say Aaron Judge. I mean, he's the one who brought me into the game. I mean, as you guys know, I've been a Yankee fan since I was fucking born. Really got into it when I met up with you guys years ago. Started going to the games. Took a couple L's, had some playoff games, some wild card games, but are hoping for this next season, turn it all around.
Most definitely, and we're actually going to hit on Judge right away. Most of you guys that follow Yankees baseball already know this, but Aaron Judge got snubbed of a Gold Glove. He's not even a finalist in right field, and somehow Joey Gallo got that honor, even though he didn't play right field for the Yankees. You got Hunter Renfroe from the Red Sox and Kyle Tucker from the Astros, also nominated for right field. Chris, if you want to go first and give your take on why you think Judge should have been a Gold Glove in right field.
Well, it's just plain obvious. You were saying off camera, on paper, you were saying he is the best right fielder in baseball. The man's got a cannon. He can make plays, and he can get out there and he can just blast homers. It's got nothing to do with home runs, but I mean, with Gold Glove, but still, that man can play. He's a baseball player, and it's really odd that Gallo made it over Judge. It just blows my mind. But the good thing, though, that came about this whole – I found it kind of funny because, Yankees, Mets, and Red Sox fans, all came together for, a solid 30 seconds. And we're just like, bro, why the hell was Kike Hernandez not nominated? Why was Marcus Stroman not nominated? And it was funny. I think it was Judge and Stroman. They tweeted that they were kind of joking, but not joking. And they were just like, yo, we should start a glove company. And then we were just like, I'm down.
That was great.
That was the funniest shit. I was just like, yo, if they actually make it, I'll buy one. I don't even play baseball. I'll fucking buy one.
Yeah, for me, I mean, everyone knows that Judge is so good on the offensive side. Obviously, he can hit one out of the park whenever he feels like it, but he's so underrated defensively because of all the injuries in the past. But he's one of those guys that can go out there and, he can run down a ball. He can make a big play in the field. And for him not to be a finalist after having a fully healthy year and, having the most defensive runs saved of right fielders in the majors, I think that's just a big slap in the face to him. And I think, next year he's going to come out there, prove himself again, and make it known that he is one of the best defensive right fielders in baseball. Overall, he's probably top 3 right fielders, maybe behind Harper and, Mookie Betts. But other than that, I don't see there being another right fielder that's better than Aaron Judge overall. No. And it's just sad to see that, he didn't get that nomination.
Yeah, for sure.
But like we said, Gallo did. And even though I don't think Gallo's going to win it, I would be kind of happy if he did. He's the only Yankee that got nominated for a Gold Glove, and he didn't even play the full season in Pinstripes. But yeah,
You're disgusting.
that Judge is it's upsetting that Judge isn't nominated. I wouldn't be upset if he didn't win it, but the fact that he just wasn't nominated is absolutely stupid.
Yeah, we're just like, what? Why? Why? Look at this season he had. Granted, he didn't go very far in the playoffs, but still, great season, especially on defense. Made some crazy plays, robbed a few homers.
And the whole world got to see his defense in the All-Star game. I mean, there was a ball hit into the gap, and most right fielders are going to let that get down. He ran over 110 feet to make that catch, and the probability I think was 15% or something like that to make the play. And he was able to do it in front of a national television.
Oh, geez.
we're gonna bounce from that though, and go into some MLB news real quick. Bob Melvin got named as the Padres manager. I know they were one of the teams that were looking at managers. They were also looking at Aaron Boone if he didn't get re-signed to the Yankees. So I think that's a better move for the Padres. I think that's something that they needed to find, was a guy who really knows his stuff, who's a leader, who's a veteran manager that can get that team together after the really disappointing season that they had, and turn things around as quick as they can. But now with him gone and Oakland kind of in shambles, I think Oakland is going to completely break down their team, and it's looking like Matt Olson, Chapman, all those types of guys are going to get traded out.
The Bills twice, and the Titans.
And then what about we'll move on. The bullpen too.
That shit.
I know you guys heard about that, Stefan. I know we talked about this on the phone.
I know we briefly talked about it the other night.
PETA wants to change the name of the bullpen to the Arm Barn. Steph, if you want to give your take on that first as our guest, let us know.
I think it's just a tough decision. I think we should do what the fans want. Not just the organization. I think fans' input, obviously, you know how it is, Yankee Stadium. It's always crowded, always packed. I think even something as simple as the name, it's going to make an impact, to the Yankee community, to us, the fans. What's your guys' take on that, too?
Most definitely. I think people are just becoming too sensitive right now.
The only time I really care about a cow's feelings is if it's still mooing at me at the diner when they undercook my burger. It's seriously, who the fuck cares about a cow? What's the cow gonna think? Oh my god, look, they're calling it the bullpen.
Sorry, I'm never gonna.
Who fucking cares, man? It's a cow.
I'm never gonna call that the Arm Barn. Even if they change it, I'm still gonna talk about it as the bullpen. I don't care what they say or how they change it or what they call it.
Fucking change it. If they do, they're soft.
To me, it's always going to be the bullpen. I just think that's the dumbest thing they could ever do. They already changed the Indians team because people are sensitive, and now
they
might get sued. They might get sued by a roller derby team in their same city for name blocking, and I think that's hilarious. I think that's absolutely awesome because the idea of the Cleveland Guardians and the logo looked like a first grader made it. And I really hope that they do have to change it and actually think about a good team name instead of just thinking of the first one that pops in their head.
Yeah. It felt like that was just a little rushed. The Guardians, why the Guardians?
Yeah, I don't know.
It has nothing to do with your past. Granted, the Indians is the Indians, and they could see Chief, Guardian, whatever, but still, you become a little more creative than that, Cleveland, you could name yourself the Cleveland LeBron Jameses, because that's all that city generates revenues.
So I don't blame them. Every sport is doing that. You guys saw what happened to the Redskins. Obviously, they had to change their name. It's happening everywhere. People are just
Washington
super
football
sensitive.
Team.
Stupid name, no offense, but it's happening everywhere, all sports teams. Everybody's changing their name. I think people are just getting, super sensitive, which is fun, Everybody has their own opinion, but I don't know. I feel like they're just changing up tradition, in my opinion. Ian, what do you think about that? The whole name changing, team name changing?
Yeah, I don't like it because it's a part of history. It's that Indians team has been around since the beginning of time almost. And, that's just one of the teams that, has had such a long history and such a big passion from that city for the game. Even when their team does bad, that city shows up, they root for their fans, and you see it across all sports, the Browns, the Cavs, the Indians, they all might not be great right now, but their fans are one of the best in all
especially
sports.
Those Cavs fans. Those Cavs fans are loyal as hell.
Cavs fans are loyal.
That city is very loyal to their teams, and they're always going to root for them no matter what. And, none of them hop off to, chase any type of bandwagon team. So shout out to you, Cleveland. If any of you guys are from Cleveland, listen to this. Nice job. Keep doing you. And, hopefully we see some good things from your Cleveland team soon, especially the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, the Indians,
not the Guardians, because there's no way they're
that
gonna.
sounds stupid.
There's no way they're winning that lawsuit now. Like, I can't see them.
Yeah,
I see them having to change the name again, and they're gonna have to do it before spring training, because I don't think they want to have to go into a lawsuit and like really fight this out, because it's not worth it.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. But enough of that, because we're here for the Yankees, so
spring training. That's what you want to talk about next?
Yeah, we can do that, because I want to go into some prospects that are probably gonna be up there. Obviously, I told you guys last episode I'm gonna be in Tampa in the spring with my boy Stefan, who is down in Tampa. So I'm super excited for that. I'm super excited to see what the team is gonna look like, who's gonna be up there, and everything. And I think there's a couple prospects that we are definitely gonna see down there. I think Austin Wells is going to be down there. Obviously, you guys know I'm a big Austin Wells guy. I think he's going to be the starting catcher for the Yankees at some point next year. I think Sanchez gets the start on opening day, but I think by July, Austin Wells is going to be ready, and he's going to be performing well enough to make a move up to the MLB roster.
I agree.
Yeah. I also see Estevan Florial being there.
Yeah. Yep, I've got him. I got him on my list too.
I mean, he's been up and down for the past couple of seasons, and I think that a lot of people think that Gardner's time is finally up. If you don't go out there and get another guy, he can definitely be that fourth outfielder that you need. Or if Aaron Hicks gets hurt again, which definitely isn't out of the realm of possibilities, he could be someone that could get plugged into starting center field, because Jason Dominguez is definitely not ready. You're not going to see him in spring training. You might see him down there doing some workouts, but he's not going to play in any of the games. He's not ready for that yet, I don't think. Great player. Yeah. He's going to be absolutely dominant someday, but I think the Yankees really need to take the time and let him own his craft, and give him a little more time in the lower minor leagues, and slowly work him up so that the fans will appreciate it more when he gets here. And I think as shortstop goes, I don't think any of them are gonna.
No, like if any of them were coming up, it might be that dude Peraza, because he was pretty hot in Hudson Valley.
I don't see Volpe, Peraza. I don't really see any of them getting many at bats. Maybe they play a game or two in spring training, but I don't really think many of them are going to be out there. We might see them at spring training when we're down there, but I don't think they're going to actually be in the games at all.
No, I don't think so either. But it would be pretty cool, though. It would be cool to see.
It would be. Volpe. Yeah. Volpe's in the single A right now with the Hudson Valley Renegades. Hopefully he's there still at the beginning of their minor league season next year, because that would be really cool to go see him. Obviously, he's ranked as the number one prospect in the Yankees farm system, and they released their top 10 today, and it's absolutely stacked. And it looks nothing like it did a year ago, 2 years ago. There are a bunch of different names out there, and it's really cool to see, but I don't think all those guys are necessarily going to still be in our farm system come 2022, because I really think that Brian Cashman is going to look to make some big trades in the offseason for some big names that we're going to go into later and that we've gone into in the past.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You got anything else? You got either of you guys?
No.
Nothing?
I don't think so.
Nothing.
No.
All right, bet. So,
I'm excited for spring training.
Yeah. Too bad I can't be there.
I can't wait. It's going to be,
you gotta come
awesome.
Down, Chris.
I can't, man. I'm already going to South Carolina that week.
Oh, man. It's crazy. Down here, it's crazy. Fucking love it.
It's going to be so cool. But the biggest thing that we've seen in the past couple of weeks, and we got some note cards here that we're going to talk about, and we did post this on our page, is Masahio Tanaka. 2 years left on his contract in Japan, but he does have an opt-out included in. I think that he would be a huge piece for the Yankees.
Absolutely. Especially come playoff time.
Man, I mean, you saw how much this team missed him. Like, he was only gone for a year, but he's proved himself in New York. He was so good for so long, and I think if they need someone to be a proven number 2 behind Garrett Cole, I think that's your guy. The only way that I see him coming back is if the MLB
Doesn't lock out.
finds an agreement and doesn't lock out. If they do, he'll probably wind up going back to Japan because he'll make sure that he has a guaranteed contract. But got a little things on Tanaka here. He's only 32. Obviously, we said he's obviously played in New York before. First year was in 2015. The year before he came here in 2014, when he played back in Japan, he had a career year, started in 28 games, went 24-0 with a 1.27 ERA.
Unbelievable.
Unheard of. I mean, I know the Japan League is different from the MLB. Obviously, it's not as popular, but dominance is dominance no matter where you are. And I mean, that's just insane. He pitched about 200 innings and he gave up 30 runs all year. So he literally gave up a run per game. Absolutely phenomenal.
It was sad to go that when he came back and then his first game out, he loses. It was just like, damn, like the streak is over.
Yeah, it's tough, but he had a great career in the MLB already. 78-46, a 3.7 career ERA.
Not terrible.
Over 1,000 innings pitched, and he's only 9 strikeouts away from reaching that 1,000 mark. So if he was to come back, and he's already stated that he would only want to play for the Yankees if he comes back. There's a chance that when he throws the ball, probably.
And he's also stated that he's open to coming back to the majors already. So.
Right, exactly, like we said, yeah. But he's open to coming back, and if he does, he would probably start the second game of the season. And he's only 9 strikeouts away from 1,000 career strikeouts, which, if he comes back and he looks good, that's something that he could possibly reach in his first game. When the Yankees lost him in the 2020 offseason, he was looking for like a 1-year deal around $15 to $20 million. I think if the Yankees are going to get him back, I think it's going to cost them the same amount, which I'm all right with. I think they need to make that move. I think if he decides to stay in Japan, I think Marcus Stroman or Kevin Gausman is a type of guy that could also get that type of deal from the Yankees. But I think they know now more than ever that they need someone to be behind Garrett Cole because Jama's not going to be ready for opening day. We don't know what we're going to get from Luis Severino in 2022. He's probably going to be put on some type of inning restriction, and he's going to get shut down 3/4 of the way through the year, and then they're not going to pitch him again until hopefully they make the postseason. But I love the idea of a Tanaka reunion. I'm all for it. If Cashman's down, if Tanaka's down, let's get it done and bring him back home.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Yep, no doubt. I don't have anything left there, but yeah. So Tanaka, yes or no, guys? All yes.
Yep, I'm taking him back.
Yeah, he's awesome, bro. He's built for the big moments in the pressure in New York. He's made for this. We've seen it in the past. We've seen it in the postseason in New York, and we just need someone with that type of fire back in our rotation because
absolutely
there needs to be someone else other than Garrett Cole that can go 6, 7, 8 innings every 5 days. We need someone that could take the load off of Garrett Cole's shoulders a little bit and know that we're going to get a lot of consistency out of him.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Yep.
But now that we got another pitcher that could go with Tanaka, like Garrett Cole, when Tanaka was on the Yankees, like his last season here, he kind of turned around a little bit, but he had a little bit of a pattern sort of going where he would be like abysmal the first half of the season. And then like out of nowhere, he'd be like, oh my God, this guy's amazing. Like, that is a low possibility of happening if he's got a guy like Cole to be his number 1 or possibly his number 2. Who knows? But
yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think the last time that Tanaka was here, obviously he had Cole in 2020, but that was a shortened year. In 2019, Tanaka was pretty much your ace out there. And I mean, that's a lot of pressure in New York to try to be the ace. And I think that was something that he kind of struggled with. But now that if he does come back, and we won't know this for a while, like this is gonna be floating around for a while. But if he does happen to come back, he's got a much better supporting cast around him, a much better offense to, provide for him and score some runs. And I think with that, he'll be able to calm his nerves a little bit more. Obviously, we've said multiple times already that he's already played in New York, so he'll be fine. He'll be fine. If he comes back, I'm super excited. I'm definitely, gonna buy a jersey of him. I never had a jersey of him when he was here the first time, and I think that was an honest mistake.
Fake fan.
So I definitely,
Word.
I definitely need to get on that. And he's one of those guys who was always such an exciting guy. Like every time he went out on the mound, it was something good. But the last memory that I have of him was with you, Stefan, when we went to the Astros game, and he looked horrible. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that was another year where we don't really know if the Astros cheated in 2019, but the Altuve covering up his jersey and everything is definitely a little shaky. But that game 4 that we went to, Tanaka just didn't look good. He was hanging a lot of pitches, and the Astros really made him pay for it. But hopefully he gets. Hopefully Tanaka gets a chance of a second resurgence in New York. That would be pretty cool. We're gonna move on to our next reunion, Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah.
And I love this guy, but Chris, if you want to start off with your pick for the Rizzo reunion.
Yeah, I really do see it happening. I 100% think it's gonna happen because one of his family members was talking to some sports media, and he said that he was fairly keen to come back. And I really see the Yankees offering him a contract. And if it's not, the only way I see him not signing it is if it's like nowhere near the amount of money he wants. Like if Brian Cashman is stingy and he's like, yo, here's a 3-year deal, like $15 million. You'd be like, nah, I'm out. Nah, sorry.
That's the only definitely not. He's definitely not going to take that. He's not a $5 million average value type of talent.
No, that's the only way that I really
he's gonna get 15 at least 15 million from a team, if not 20.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I even brought that up, because there's no way no way anybody of his skill levels taking that. And that's really the only way, like I said, I see him not coming back is if he gets a really shitty contract. That's all I can really see. I definitely think he's coming back.
I did see the reports about the family member. I don't like that because back in 2019, when we were going after starting pitching, Patrick Corbin's brother said that he was looking in New York, and he's from New York, and he was like, "Oh, like Corbin's definitely coming," and it got fans ecstatic. Like we were like, "No way!" Like we're getting Patrick Corbin, and then a couple of days later, he signs with the Washington Nationals, and people are like, "Dude, what the hell?" So I'm not trying to let that get into my head too much, because sometimes family members say something and then it goes the completely opposite way. I would love to have Rizzo back. 3-4 year deal.
It's good to have a lefty too.
I mean, we need lefty bats, but $15 million a year, I'm fine with that.
Definitely.
But I don't know. I mean, he's definitely the best free agent first baseman available, because Freddie Freeman's going back to Atlanta.
Yeah, he's not.
There's no doubt. But I think if the Yankees have a chance to make the trade with the Oakland A's for Matt Olson, that's just like Rizzo's here. Matt Olson's like right above him. Like, still lefty, still great first baseman, but he's younger and he costs less. And it's like, if we get the chance to get him from Oakland, it's like, that's just like, hey, the Yankees are back and we're not afraid to go out and get the best guy at every position. I was looking at like Twitter and TikTok and all those stuff today, and I saw a video that was posted, and it was like potential Yankees lineup in 2022. And it was Gary Sanchez, Matt Olson, Gleyber Torres, Correa, LeMahieu, Gallo, Hicks, Judge, and Stanton. if that lineup doesn't scare
That's terrifying.
the other 29 MLB teams, then I don't know, because if every single one of those guys can play healthy and you just get some, decent guys that could get some clutch hits, on your bench, then you got yourself an offense right there. And then, you already got a good bullpen. You got a decent starting rotation. You definitely want to add that proven number 2 behind Cole. But right now, if you get Olsen and if you get the shortstop that you want, you're fine, because a year or two down the road, you got Dominguez coming up. You got Volpe coming up. I think Peraza would get traded for a guy like Matt Olson. So, even though the Yankees are very high on that guy, obviously they're higher on Volpe. So I think that Peraza could be expendable. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I like the idea of a Rizzo reunion, but I would rather have Matt Olson. So I'm going to go no on a Rizzo reunion. I think he's going to go to another team. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Boston Red Sox were one of those teams that picked him up. Yeah. So my answer is no. Stefan, you're probably on Chris's side with this one, but if you want to, give
yeah, I think he's earned his worth. I think it'd be good to have him back. But obviously it comes down to the money. Obviously what Chris said with his family. I'm not going to feed into that. I'm not going to get our hopes up, because you know how that is in the sports world. Chris, what are you thinking? I know you said that it'd be good to have him back, but
yeah, no, it'd definitely be good to have him back. But after Ian brought it up, Matt Olson, that would be pretty fucking cool. That would be cool to see. I wouldn't mind either of them, but Matt Olson would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, and at this point, I'm so fed up with how Brian Cashman has operated the past few years. I love that he got Gallo this year. It didn't really work out. I love that he got Rizzo because, I'm a big first base guy. It kind of worked out. It wasn't great. It was better than Luke Voigt. But I think if you're Brian Cashman, you have something to prove this year. You have 1 year left as the GM of the Yankees. And if you don't make the right moves and get the chance to get to a World Series, you're gone. So if he wants to make a big splash, the day the offseason starts, go out there and either get yourself your shortstop on day one or get yourself Matt Olson on day one. I would be calling up as many people as you can and just start making moves. Literally, if they want to come back and be the powerhouse that they used to be, Brian Cashman needs to go out there and go 1, 2, 3. Correa or Seager, Matt Olson, and Masahiro Tanaka.
But you know what happened the last time you said something was going to go crazy, though? We're not done.
Yeah,
and then we got Andrew Heaney.
And then we got Andrew Heaney. And at first it was all right, that's better than nothing. And then we saw him in his first game, and he finished with a 7.32 ERA in Pinstripes. And I never want to see that guy pitch on a mound again. I hope he's staying at home and just
he can pitch at the sun.
I hope he's staying at home and he's just depressed, contemplating life right now, because he probably has no idea what his future holds. And I really don't think that there's any major league team that would want him.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, for sure.
No shot. And then we got one more reunion left. Brett Gardner.
I don't think it's happening. No,
I don't either.
I think he's done.
I think it's gonna happen. Come on. He wants to win. Give him another shot. It's I can't see him going out. I can't see him going out like this.
I want.
He already has a World Series.
I want him to go. I want him to go on top more than anyone does. And when the Yankees lost the wild card game to the Red Sox, he was the next guy on deck when Gleyber Torres flew out. And I was like, man, what a way to possibly end your career if that's it for Brett Gardner. Waiting on deck and seeing your team get eliminated. I don't know what Gardner was feeling when he went back into the clubhouse, but I do remember the media talking to him and saying that he sat there for hours with the jersey on because he didn't want to take it off because he doesn't know if he's going to be a Yankee again. So I don't know. I'm conflicted. Like, I'm on both sides right here. And it's like, I want him to because he's one of my favorite players, but I don't want him to because he's holding up a roster spot for younger kids to get an opportunity, or someone else that we might be able to get, like
That's a
like
really
an
good
Adam
point.
Duvall,
That
or
is a good
someone like
point,
that.
bro.
And as much as I love Guardy, I think his time as
Yeah.
a Yankee player is done. I wouldn't be surprised though if he retired and the Yankees said, "Hey, do you want to be a coach or
That
an
would be
advisor or
awesome.
something like that?" So I would say if the Yankees give him a reunion, it's not going to be as a player, but something different.
I would still like to see him as a player. I don't think it's going to happen, but I would like to see it just because Gardner is probably my second favorite Yankee. And
yeah,
it's just, I just love going out there and seeing Gardner because I know he's been with this team forever and he wants it. And it was very, like you said, imagine what he feels like when he's in the dugout watching. Well, not in the dugout, but you know what I mean. But watching his team get
eliminated again,
spanked again.
I feel like shunning him away, not giving him a chance to come back as a player, it's disrespectful. I mean, I love the guy, and I think, what Ian said, we can fill up that roster spot with somebody else. But this is a guy, the last 5 years, I mean, we've had a stacked team. I mean, there's no reason why we should have not at least, made it to the World Series, gave it a run. And I feel like
I made a point of that in the last podcast too.
I think that takes a toll on the guy. And I mean, I'm not saying that they're not doing their best. I think though there's a point where, you got to put the bat down. Your time is up. I think for him, his time is not up as a Yankee, as a player, and I can see him coaching. I just don't think his time is up as a player.
Yeah, we'll see what the future holds, though. Only time will tell.
The only way I see him coming back is if they can't find another veteran player, because obviously in that clubhouse, he's the longest tenured Yankee, and it's like,
I say if he wants to play to shun him away,
he's a classy veteran who he fights every day. Like, he's a dog. He goes out there and he fights he fights for his team every day, and he's probably one of the hardest workers you'll ever see.
Yeah, he puts his heart into the game.
And I got one more guy that I'm gonna do for a reunion real quick. And some Yankee fans are gonna hate this. I don't think he's coming back as a player either. But I think because we don't have any base coaches, and he was such a threat on the base paths when he was a player, Jacoby Ellsbury. I think he comes back as a base coach. And I think you got to get those guys. I think it was the Marlins or something like that brought Eric Young Jr. in as a first base coach. And I think it's just so smart that you're getting guys that prove themselves in the MLB to be like the fastest players and like the smartest players on the base paths to be your coach. And I think Ellsbury is one of those guys that could really help the Yankees, get some extra bases, make some big plays, and, get a couple extra runs with your legs. The Yankees didn't show up as one of the fastest teams or like one of the teams that would threaten the most to steal bases, but they're not slow. Like, they have guys that can steal bases and can probably run pretty well. Judge can cover a lot of ground in the outfield. Tyler Wade is fast. Aaron Hicks is fast. You got guys that can run the base. Like, Gleyber Torres is fast. You got guys that can run the bases. It's just like you need someone on that field with you to say, hey, look for these signs in a pitcher. Look at his mechanics and figure it out. Figure out when you're going to go. And I think Ellsbury's one of that guy because, he stole 40 bases in a season or 50 bases in a season. There were multiple times where he stole home on certain pitches, like, multiple times throughout his career where he legged out a triple because, he turned on the burners right away instead of, jogging it out. That's the type of guy that I want to be a coach so that we can feel more comfortable about running the bases and making the right decisions on the
I
base
agree.
paths.
It's a good point.
So I don't think it's gonna happen, but I think
that one kind of came out of left field
it
too.
would be cool.
Like,
It definitely would be cool, and it's gonna tie into our next segment here with the vacant coaches roles. I got a lot to say about this one. I think you guys are both gonna like this. I think it's actually really a cool segment that we're gonna have.
Lay it on us.
So obviously we have a bench coach to fill, a first base coach, third base coach, and a hitting coach. A lot of stuff. Obviously it's going to take a lot of time. But I think for the Yankees, you hired Aaron Boone back because you're comfortable with him. You think he can win a World Series. I'm all for it. If they trust him, fine. Like, just bring a World Series back to the Bronx. That's all I need. But I think there needs to be someone that sits next to Aaron Boone and talks in his ear to help him make the decisions, because I don't think that he can necessarily do it on his own. But it needs to be someone that's not Brian Cashman and not Hal Steinbrenner. There needs to be someone who has managerial experience, who's been with the Yankees before, and can help Aaron Boone. And I think that guy is Buck Showalter. Seen that rumors a couple of weeks ago, thought about it, really let it dive in. And I think there's no better option for a bench coach if you want to get someone with experience and someone that can help Boone and kind of be like a second manager, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, you could call it that. You could definitely call it that.
Yeah, I mean, they did it with Joe Torre when he managed the Yankees and they won 5 World Series because he had Don Zimmer barking in his ear every inning or two. And he was like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. And Torre just sat there, let Zimmer do the talking, and then Torre would just point the fingers when he needed to. But, Zimmer was really the manager just without the title. And I think Buck Showalter could be the same way with Aaron Boone.
Yeah.
What else you got? Well, just some things I said. Showalter was a great manager, very old school style. Obviously, he used to manage the Yankees. He used to manage the Orioles. I think he's a great fit for Aaron Boone because, Buck can teach him a lot. And he can probably learn, some things about Aaron Boone and, the way that he's trying to coach these guys and, about the decisions that, Boone has made in the past. Next guy I got is a clubhouse advisor. This is more of like a coach for Garrett Cole. Like just a guy to mentor Garrett Cole, because it's like Matt Blake is a great pitching coach, but he's never stepped on the mound in the MLB. So he doesn't know what it feels like to be pitching in a playoff game or a World Series game. You need a guy who has been there and done that, who, when the going gets tough and your stuff isn't there, what is plan B? Like what is your backup to go off of? And for me, the two guys that you have to go after and try to ask are CC or David Cohn. Yep. Both guys played for the Yankees. Mm-hmm. Both guys played for the Yankees. Both guys were aces for the New York Yankees. If anybody knows how to pitch in the playoffs, it's those two guys under the bright lights of New York. They did it for so long. They were so good when they did it. And they could help Garrett Cole out so much, because if one of the two of them were there in that game in Boston, I think there would have been a different outcome. I think after that first inning, when he knew that his stuff wasn't there, they would have been like, yo, like, this is what we're going to do, like A, B, C, and this is going to help you get your out. And this is going to help you get through 4, 5, 6 innings, whatever it is. Luckily for us, it wasn't a complete blowout. Cole did not look good, but, the bullpen looked decent. Clay Holmes definitely mopped up his mess and everything. The offense just was hit or miss. And, it was obviously a miss that night. We still rely too much on the home run ball. And thank God Marcus Thames is out, because he was laid just a home run coach. Like, he wasn't a hitting coach. He was laid a home run coach. And that's going to lead me into our hitting coach finally. So CC Sabathia, David Cohn, mentor Garrett Cole, help him out, because, that last month and a half, they say he had a hamstring injury. Then when they got eliminated, Brian Cashman did a press conference when they re-signed Boone. He went through all these injuries, and Garrett Cole's name never came up. So it's like, wow, like Garrett Cole must have really just had a bad day.
You know, I never noticed that.
Yeah. I mean, he must have just, and it wasn't like really a bad day. It was like, that was a bad, 2 months for him. Like the final 2 months of his season were absolutely horrendous. And if there's any reason for him to not win the Cy Young Award, that's the reason why. And I know this isn't a Mets podcast, but I just got an alert that the Mets have just parted way with their GM. So
wasn't he the guy that got arrested drunk driving?
Yeah, that's the same guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Mets are falling apart in front of our eyes, and we love every minute of it. It's absolutely great. They're literally falling apart. They have no manager, no GM.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, they can't do anything. They can't do anything with free agents until they get someone to. Until they get a GM, they can't make any moves. So keep doing you, Mets. You know, just keep crumbling in front of baseball fans' eyes, and
just keep pulling the Yankees.
All other 29 all other 29 MLB franchises will keep giving you a thumbs up.
Participation trophy.
With that, sorry to get off topic. I just thought that was kind of cool that I got that notification right now because obviously the Mets suck. Hitting coach Nate Thompson, under the radar name. He was there last year when the Tigers needed a new manager, and they were looking at Marcus Thames, and the Yankees were like, "Oh well, if Thames walks, we need to get someone for hitting coach," and his name did come up. Obviously, AJ Hinch wound up becoming the manager of the Detroit Tigers, so Thames wound up sticking around for another year, which obviously wasn't the right decision. But this guy, Nate Thompson, has been with Arkansas, I think, for 7 years or so, they said. And the team has led their conference in 11 offensive categories each year since he's been there. Top 2 in 15 stats. In their first 16 games this year, the team had a .310 batting average, 118 runs, 33 doubles, and 21 homers. Obviously, like we said, they led the SEC in 11 offensive categories. From 2018 to 2020, they led the conference in average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, runs, home runs, extra base hits, RBIs, total bases, and sac flies. Their total team stats for the year, which were 63 games, 267 batting average, 387 on-base percentage, and, a 482 slugging percentage. They had 109 homers, 433 ribbies, over 1,000 total bases. And the one that really stuck out to me was that they went 44 of 53 on stolen base attempts, which is over 83%,
that's crazy.
Solid. Solid. And that's something that the Yankees need that they haven't had for years, is like a run game. Like, I think this is a guy that could change the whole dynamic of the Yankees offense and go from the home run hitting team to a overall good offense that can do the small ball, can hit the home runs when they want. Stanton and Judge are your guys that are going to blast the home runs. They're both going to hit 30 home runs a year if they're healthy, at least. Those should be your only two power hitters in the lineup. I know you guys have Joey Gallo. That's fine, whatever, because you need the lefty. But everyone else in that lineup, the next six guys, should all be able to be average and on-base guys that can just work the count, have long at-bats, make a pitcher work, and just get on base any way they can, whether it's having a bunt, base hits, walk, whatever it needs to be. Those need to be the other six guys that you fill this team with. But Nate Thompson looks like he could be a great option.
Yeah, that would be freaking sick. If he can lead a college team.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we haven't heard anything.
Probably not going to for a while.
I haven't even heard really any rumors coming out. But
we're probably not going to for a while, though.
Yeah. with the lockout and everything, if that does happen,
I hope not.
which, yeah, I hope not either, because I really don't want to have to wait until February to figure out who our shortstop's going to be. We need to figure out a hitting coach, though, first. I think if we can get that done before they open up the free agent pool, that would be absolutely huge for the Yankees. And then the last thing I got for coaches, obviously we kind of talked about the first and third base coaches. Gardner is another one that I talked about before, so I'm not going to go more into that. We talked about Ellsbury. Ron Washington, currently a third base coach for the Atlanta Braves, but I think it's looking more and more like he's going to become a manager again and looking like he might get the spot in Oakland next year. So, kudos to you if you get that. He was a great manager way back when for the Texas Rangers when they were like one of the top teams in the American League. But I could see him, if he doesn't want to manage again, maybe the Yankees can steal him from Atlanta. I don't know. Just an option out there, though. Willie Randolph is another guy, former player of the Yankees, used to manage the Mets. Just another guy that could be out there that knows a lot about baseball. That could be someone that could bring a lot of knowledge to the younger players that we have on the team, or the guys that, don't have a full set of like tools in their bag. Like they're just either a power hitter or contact hitter. Maybe he can, form together some guys that could, turn out to be 5-tool players. And then I have Kevin Youkilis, Red Sox legend, came over to the Yankees for a little bit.
We're gonna call someone on the Red Sox a legend. That's brave.
He was.
That's brave.
But he did play for the Yankees, and he went to Japan. But he fits the bill. He's bald. Almost every base coach in the MLB is bald. So there you go.
Stupid.
He definitely fits
I'm gonna
the
ignore
bill.
you said that, but
yeah. We're gonna just forget you
say that.
Yep.
Forget about that.
So,
oh my god,
that was good. Needed that laugh real quick.
What do you got against bald people?
Chrome Dome.
I mean, look at him, bro. Like literally.
Oh, don't say anything, man. You about to get Frank upset.
I cannot name a single base coach in this league that has a head of hair. I don't know a single one. They're all bald. They're literally all bald.
Bald people in here. They're gonna start yelling at you.
Hey, sorry.
Frank might be watching, man.
I don't have anything against
yeah.
Little Frank, where he at?
Man, wow, that's crazy. I don't have anything against bald people. That's just, that's really like a stereotype. It's like,
bald phobic.
I feel like it's like when you're applying to be a base coach, it's like requirements, and then the first thing says must be bald in all caps.
All right. That's just funny.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the people that I think could, fill the vacant roles. I think that would be ideal for the Yankees, but obviously I'm not Brian Cashman. I have nothing to do with the Yankees, so
I kind of wish you were Brian Cashman because you make the smartest moves possible.
I just try out here. I actually do my research instead of staying in a little hobbit hole all winter. But whatever. All right. We are going to go into our favorite segment. Started this last week.
Where are the gavels at?
Oh, I got them right here.
Fuck a gavel.
Guilty as charged. Here we go. Gary Sanchez is on the stand for this one. And Stefan, you're basically going to be the judge for this. So, Chris, if you want to, plead your case of Gary Sanchez, and then, after you, we can discuss it a little bit. Then I'll go into mine.
Here's the short answer. Here's the short answer. You ready? It goes a little something like this. Na 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 na. Hey, goodbye.
Hopefully we don't get we don't get copyrighted for that, but okay.
We won't. I was singing it out of key. Anyway,
definitely.
He's going to the Hounds. He's out. He's gone. I'd rather see Higgy start over him. I I don't even need a reason. Like, dude can't catch anything that's not in the strike zone. His offense is like crazy bipolar, but like off his meds bipolar. And I'd rather see Higgy start over this clown any friggin' day. I'm getting pissed. I play like you deserve. Play like you want a World Series. Play like you want to at least make the playoffs. I didn't see that out of Gary Sanchez, especially not in the latter half of the season this year. I don't know why we haven't started Higgy over him more, but definitely get this guy out of the pinstripes. I don't want to see it again. What do you think?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna bring something real quick. You know what this is. I think Stefan might know what this is, but
oh, you're biased.
This is Grandpa's hat. This is my pa, and his favorite player was Gary Sanchez. I don't know why.
How.
I really don't know. Like, he loved that guy. He always defended him. And it's crazy to think that after all this time of bashing Gary Sanchez and being a huge Austin Wells guy, I actually have something to defend him by. And that's that right now he's so lucky because the free agent catcher market is absolutely horrendous and it's so thin of like good players to come by that Gary Sanchez is still going to be here in 2022.
Yeah, just don't. I'm fine with that, and for a little bit fine with that, but just don't start him, please.
Yeah. So here's my defense. If I'm Gary Sanchez's attorney,
this better be good.
He's one of the best.
Yeah. You're going to jail. This better be good.
Since he's been in the league, he's been one of the best offensive catchers in baseball. Obviously not average wise, but he averages over 20 homers a year. He had stretches where he looked like he was going to go in the right direction. Obviously, Chris, when we went to the second game of the season, he hit another home. He hit one opening day. Then he hit another one in the game that we went to. And literally, I mean, I got a ball that game.
I got a ball that game too.
It was like a month or so after my grandpa had died. And that was the first ball I ever got at an MLB game. And then Gary Sanchez hit a home run. And that's when I knew, I was like, wow, like, Pa is definitely here right now. And I was like, and he's definitely loving. Awesome. I was like, he's definitely loving every second of this. And, that was when it was like, oh my God, is Gary Sanchez going to turn around? And then he fell right back to earth the next day. And we're like, yep, there's the Gary we know.
Yep.
I think he went like 0 for 4 with like 3 strikeouts. And we were like, yeah, that's the Gary that I remember. And all years it was ups and downs. But, he still hit 23 home runs, which was, I think top 5 in all of MLB for catchers. He only had 54 RBIs, but, the entire Yankee team was down in RBIs. Like, they weren't getting people on base, so there weren't opportunities to drive in runs. It was like you hit a home run or we weren't scoring a run. Like, that was pretty much it. His arm is top 3, if not the best in MLB. Obviously, he's not great behind the plate, but when someone goes to steal a base, he might have one of the most lethal arms in baseball and one of the most accurate arms to second base. And he can gun down any runner, no matter who it is. And his overall defense can't get any worse. It's already at rock bottom. So it's like, you can only get better. I think he needs to go back to catching on 2 legs. I don't like the idea of him catching on 1 to try to block more pitches. I think you got to deal with it, for the next couple of months, that he just isn't a good blocker. But you can't catch on 1 leg. It's not good.
It's a lot more difficult than you think.
Yeah, and you're not going to get as many calls. And, we don't know what's going to happen, if there's going to be robo-umps or anything. But it's like, if there are robo-umps, you're not getting away with any type of framing call. So it's like, you might as well just make your catcher know how to catch the ball in the strike zone and just catch the ball in general, because Gary Sanchez can't really do that. But he has no mobility when he's on 1 leg. He can't move around. He has no lateral movement at all. So go back to 2 legs. Take your L when he can't get down and block the ball. Like, it's going to happen. But just know that Austin Wells is coming, and he's coming for that catcher spot, whether it's sometime in 2022 or in the beginning of 2023. I hope it's sooner. But no matter what, Gary Sanchez's time is very slim with the Yankees. But I think that he's good enough still, and he's better than
I'm glad you think that way.
And he's better than any catcher available.
I thought I was the
on
judge
the market right now. You are the judge. Yeah, I'm still explaining. He's better than any catcher that's on the market right now. So I just see him staying here. Like there's nowhere for him to go right now.
Chris?
Other than straight to the friggin' free agency, and no one's going to look at him, which I wouldn't mind.
I don't think that's true. I feel like if the Yankees were to release him, someone will get him. And if there's like a universal DH rule that comes into effect, the National League team would jump on him. I think it's just the pressure in New York and the criticism that he's got has finally got to him, and he just can't handle it as much because he knows he's getting criticized. And like, I mean, you can feel bad for the guy, but you really can't. It's like it's been going on for 3 to 4 years, but it's like he's still going to be the Yankees catcher in 2022. Go ahead, Chris. Give your final thoughts before Stefan can.
That's all I got. Just get this guy out of the starting positions. We don't need it. I'm getting sick of watching it, and it's just sad. It's just really sad, especially the last half of the season. The last few games, I should say, were
I mean, I think I went to like 7 games this year, and the first game he hit the home run.
Yeah,
and then after that, I don't even think he got another base hit anytime I went to a game.
No, he struck out. I think every time he was at the plate when we saw him against Miami on the game to force the wild card. I don't think he got. I think he struck out every single time. I could be wrong, but I think he struck out every single time.
I wouldn't be surprised. I definitely wouldn't put it past him. It's Gary Sanchez. My last thing was, you know, and I already kind of said this, but you stick with Gary until Austin Wells is ready. I hope that's sooner because I really think this guy is going to be an absolute beast, and he's a left-handed hitter. Can't go wrong in Yankee Stadium with a left-handed hitter.
Definitely not.
And especially overall, he's just a good catcher. You know, so yeah, hopefully he's up soon. I hope he gets the chance to be at spring training. I would love the chance to maybe get to meet him and, you know, get a little video of, you know, talking to him and put it on the podcast. That would be pretty dope.
That would be pretty sick.
So yeah, I mean, Austin Wells, if you're out there anywhere, if you ever want to listen to this, big fan. If you want to, you know, give me a signed jersey maybe someday or something.
All right, you're pushing your luck. You're pushing your luck now.
I'll get donations.
Hey, donations are accepted, guys. If any fans want to give us anything, yeah, please, definitely.
Yeah,
you could DM us and
I
send
really
us whatever you want.
I really don't like the idea of opening a PO box though, because like seriously, we don't know what we're gonna get in that. You know, it's gonna be hate mail. It's gonna be human poop. Like you don't know what we're gonna get. Like, we are like from the Red Sox fans. It'll be like just straight up. They're sending us like some kind of like the gummy dicks in a bag or whatever the hell you.
Wow, yeah. All right, next. So Stefan, you're the deciding factor here. You know, where does the judge stand on Gary Sanchez?
You of all people know how I feel about that man. I mean, I literally call him Bowser every time I fucking see him. I mean, that man enrages me. I'm not gonna lie though. This year, I think he turned it around. He did. He played pretty well compared to the past 2-3 years. But
do you even watch Yankees baseball?
Yeah, I'm comparing him to the last couple of years. I want him out of here, honestly.
I mean, he gave it his best shot.
There's just so many.
If that's his best shot, I'm very, very, very.
Yeah. I'm very disappointed also.
I mean, I'm sorry, but it's like you're not going to get a 300 hitter out of Gary Sanchez. So if you're going to have to take the 20 home runs and take a 200 average from him, whatever. I mean, he's gonna be gone at some point. It's just when. Obviously, the sooner the better, but
he needs to leave now.
Yeah, I think he's done. I can't take any more seeing his fucking stupid face.
I don't know. You gotta say he's innocent, not guilty or not guilty.
Guilty.
Yeah, he's guilty. We're getting him out of here. Get him out of here. We don't want him.
There we go. Guilty as charged. Gary Sanchez, sorry.
Please don't beat us up. You see us on the street, don't beat us up.
You're getting locked up, bud. You're getting locked up. You're getting thrown. You're getting thrown to the hounds. It looks like.
That's my guy.
I wish I had a sound of like angry dogs barking or something. Maybe next time. But yeah, Sanchez thrown to the hounds. Sorry, I tried to defend you, Gary, but it's kind of hard to defend you when you sucked for so long. Sorry.
Kind of hard to defend you.
All right. Final segment of the day. The CBA agreement between MLB and the players. New deal needs to be done before December 1st, 11:59. If not, MLB goes down into a lockdown. Obviously, there's a lot of things going on with, pitchers, and the sticky stuff and, all that type of stuff. Chris, do you think a deal gets done before December?
I hope so. I really do hope so. I really don't know too much about this. I have to really look into it more, but I really hope they do. But still, if it's still not going to be agreed upon just because of the pine tar or whatever the hell it is, that's just so fucking stupid. Like, isn't that shit technically cheating? Like, isn't it like actually cheating?
I mean, you could say that, but it's like everyone does it. Like, players put pine tar on their bat. So it's like, pitchers are going to use a rosin bag and they're going to put probably pine tar on their neck or on their hat. Somewhere. It's just about trying to cover it up. And, every pitcher was using something to grip the ball better. And obviously you saw, when they took that away from them, guys were getting hurt. And, we lost, even though I'm not a fan of the Tampa Bay Rays. It's like, they lost their ace, Tyler Glasnow, in his first start without using it. And, he tore his UCL and now he has to get Tommy John surgery. And unfortunately for them, that cost him his entire 2022 season.
Yeah, but how much of that can you really attribute to the pine tar?
A lot. That has so much effect on a baseball, on the spin rate and, how you're going to throw your pitches.
Yeah, but still, you can have no pine tar and not throw a pitch and blow your elbow out.
It's
the pine tar really shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be. It shouldn't even be a matter of discussion. It's just, that shit's cheating.
They're going to find something. They're going to find something that's going to help pitchers out. That is going to be universal.
Yeah, I'm sure they will, but that's not cheating.
I just don't know how long it's going to take because they're going to go back and forth with the players and they're going to try something that's going to do absolutely nothing and they're going to say no. And, they're just going to have to keep like putting things out. I don't want them to go into a lockdown. And, obviously they still have a month, it's November 1st. So they really have a month until tonight to figure this out. I think they do. I think they're, the World Series is almost over. Atlanta's up 3-2. Hopefully they win tomorrow.
Bro, that game last night was freaking bullshit.
I told you that Houston wasn't going down without a fight. So,
and I told you as soon as
it's already like 8 o'clock. I've been waiting.
You're not been waiting. You're on the phone.
Been waiting.
I'm dead.
Wait, can you elaborate about exactly what's going on? Because I'm like,
James, welcome to the podcast, bro.
Yeah, he's all the way over there. Can you elaborate about this lockdown? Because I'm like so confused.
Yeah, so there's a sticky substance that players used to be able to use, mainly on pitchers, right? It would be able to control the grip of the ball and control the spin. Halfway through the year, they took it out. They said pitchers couldn't use it anymore. Pitchers were very irate about it, and they, came out and publicly spoke. Tyler Glasnow wound up getting hurt, and he's probably one of baseball's top 10 pitchers right now. He's out for the rest of the year. And so between the players and MLB, they're trying to find something that's like, I guess, neutral ground that could work for both sides. So they're going to try to find a substance that everyone can use that is still legal in terms of baseball usage. And they have to figure that out before December 1st. If not, they won't sign a new deal and the league will go into a lockout. And until they figure that out, like basically that's all they're waiting on is can they find some type of substance literally for pitchers. Like batters really don't have any say in this. It's really based on like what the pitchers want at this point. And if they can figure that out before December 1st, there's no need to worry. If they don't, we go into a lockdown.
I mean, that's exactly a month away.
Right. So they have 30 days to figure something out. Obviously, the winter meetings are usually like that second week of December. And MLB hasn't booked a venue for where they're supposed to hold it with all the owners and the GMs. So that kind of worries me a little bit, knowing that they don't know where they're going to go. And I think that's mainly because they don't know what they're going to find for a substance to use. So I don't want it to end this way. I do think that a lockout is almost inevitable. I don't think it's going to last very long. I think it's going to go a couple weeks maybe, and then they're finally going to find something. I don't think it's going to go crazy long because there's so much to talk about this offseason. So many highly touted players that, you know, are going to be on the move that they need to get this engine rolling now so that they don't lose fans because, you know, the casual fan that, you know, doesn't keep up with it as much, you know, only follows their team or, you know, only follows, you know, the postseason or whatever, you know, they're going to lose interest very quick. And, you know, I don't want to be sitting here in December with a lockout with nothing to talk about. So, you know, Major League Baseball definitely needs to figure something out soon and give them the sticky stuff because it makes the game more exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that you're talking, I can agree on it, but still, if you need a foreign substance to play a sport, don't fucking bother playing the sport. Like, I mean, if you can't use your natural God-given ability to
I'm sorry,
go out there and
but
perform,
every sport has people that use stuff.
Yeah,
every sport.
I know, but still, like if you rely on it, what the hell are you doing?
I mean, people
seriously, what the hell are you doing? You don't
people
see
use it in every sport.
You don't see guys like LeBron like relying on some kind of substance to play well.
I mean,
guys like Lamar Jackson or who are good at their sport, like LeBron, Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady. Like, you don't see those guys going out there and using some kind of something. You just don't. Like it's. I mean, if they do, they're doing a really freaking bang up job of covering it up. But shit, like I still don't understand.
So you're against it. But do you think
I'm just against using foreign substances to try to better your game? If you can't better your game by just practicing, like just
I definitely feel
you're getting paid millions and millions of dollars to go out there and play a sport.
If we were to look at
the
it,
best in the world,
if we were to look at it like this, obviously they suspend players who use it for hitting, right? Like steroids and that type of stuff. If the MLB doesn't want them to use it, I guess find something neutral that doesn't necessarily better you, but it's still able to be used, like whatever it is. If you have to change the ball or, you know, I don't know, whatever you have to do, go do it. And then if those people still wind up using the substance, just suspend them. Like, it's that simple. Like,
yeah,
MLB really has all the power here. Like, the players are going to have to comply one or another. And really, if they don't, then they could just sit at home and not play if it really comes down to that.
So how it goes. Ask Kyrie Irving.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Exactly. I mean, we don't have that problem in baseball where people won't get their vaccine. There's tons of teams
let's
out
not.
there.
Well, hold on. Let's not talk about that before we get our podcast canceled. I think we're gonna we're gonna say that one. We're gonna talk about it for like 30 seconds, and then Fauci and his gang of scientists are coming like, yeah, you guys can't talk about that. And they're like, oh yeah.
Yeah. No. All right. Last thing before we go into final statements. Do the Astros force a Game 7?
No.
We hate them.
No.
I think
I did say on last week's episode.
It depends on who pitches.
I did predict the Astros winning in 7.
You did.
But,
I projected the Braves in 6. So
yeah. So either way, one of us is going to be right. You know.
Max Fried is pitching for the Braves.
Who's pitching for Houston?
Says TBD. They don't know yet.
Shit.
So it's going to be interesting. Fried didn't look good in his first game. He got roughed up in Game 2. But I guess, we'll see tomorrow night. I would love for Atlanta to win because I did pick them to win in 6. But I wouldn't be surprised if it went 7.
Yeah.
Now, I think Houston, again, like I said to you the other day, Houston is going to fight, and they're going to be very tough on Atlanta. Do I think they come back and win the series? No. But they have a lot on their plate right now, and they are trying to overcome what they did a couple years ago, and they're trying to rewrite the narrative. No one's ever going to forget that they cheated, but if they can win the whole thing clean, it's going to make them be like, all right, like, hey, like,
3-1.
We don't know if they're clean.
They're definitely clean, bro. They're definitely clean.
No, we don't know that.
We don't know that. We
don't know that.
We thought they were clean in 2017. But
do you not remember Springer making fun of you while you were up in the damn stands? Like, that dude was literally telling you to fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're clean though. I don't have a problem.
What? They robbed us. I have a huge problem.
I know they robbed them. I don't like them. I despise the Astros, but I think they've learned their lesson. And they are so lucky that none of them were suspended. But they're all great play. Like, believe it or not, like, as much as I hate them, they're all very talented players.
And I definitely want Carlos Correa as our shortstop.
Coming next season, if they make the playoffs next year as well, which is more than likely because the AL West is not a good division at all. Jose Altuve might become Major League's best postseason player. He's already second all time in postseason homers, and he still has at least a game, if not 2, left this year to increase that. And he's only 6 behind Manny Ramirez for first all time. And he still had,
how many of those came
barring
off cheating,
any type of unusual injury to him.
How many of those came off cheating?
They don't care. Obviously, MLB doesn't care. Rob Manfred didn't care. That's why he didn't give him suspensions. That's why they didn't strip him of the title. They kind of just, patted them on the head, said, bad boy, and they moved on.
Stupidest decision ever.
Yep.
If I was commissioner, they would definitely have no title. We're not going to talk about this. This is going to make me angry.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much done here. If you got anything else that you want to talk about that we didn't hit up, say it now or forever hold your peace until next week.
Until next week.
Yeah, until next week.
All right. So, just before we end, obviously, if you guys don't follow us, please follow us at Pinstripe Pals on Instagram and Twitter. We have all our podcasts available on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, and Google. Basically, anywhere that you guys would normally listen to your podcast. If you guys have any feedback or anything that you would like to give us, you guys can hit us up in our DMs, comment below, anything like that. Appreciate all the feedback that you guys have given us. And just, let us know how we're doing. Share this with your friends, your family, Yankee fans, anyone that you know.
We're almost at 50 subs now, so on Anchor. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, 4 episodes in, got a lot of support from, people that we work with, people that we're friends with. So, just keep doing your thing, guys. We appreciate all the love, all the support, everything that you guys have done for us. More to come. Hopefully the lockdown doesn't, keep us from, bringing, a lot of good news. But if it does, we're still going to be on here. We're going to make some fun. Stefan, we definitely want to bring you back on, for some type of trivia night or, some type of like game show or something I want to do and have some fun. But, if a lockdown does happen, we're going to make the most of it and, still find ideas to keep you guys entertained during that, bring you guys some joy with some type of Yankee news or, Yankee stuff that we can, talk about. But until then, Ian signing off.
This is Chris. Catch you later.
And all right, guys.
Stefan.
Have a good one.
So,
thanks for
you guys
again.
again.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you guys again for everything. We'll see you guys next week.
All right. See you next
week.
week.
All right, guys. Catch y'all next week.